Well, I do not know what to say. There are some jaw-dropping contradictions occurring in the current war against DOA. Now, let's be very clear. DOA is a horrible, toxic person. He's done a lot of awful things. Again, is there a good side? I guess he has uncovered a few scams, and he has, quote, called out a few legitimate issues, although he tends to exaggerate his heroism by a lot and distort what was happening, not just with anti-Scientology, but with other movements. So he's mainly a grifter and a huckster. But Jesus Christ, even I, who don't like him, very skeptical of him, you gotta be kidding me. The propaganda used against him is so laughably weak. I mean, it just does not add up. So, is DOA worse than David Miscavige? No, he's not worse than David Miscavige. I mean, come on. David Miscavige allegedly is behind what, killing perhaps hundreds of people. He's linked to genuine mass murder. And not just mass murder, but like basically fascist genocide. Now, do I think even DOA has done that? No, he's done a lot of harmful things, but really? Fascist genocide? I don't think so. He's not in that top rank of pure evil, and Jenna should know better. She was literally in the cult at a very young age. I mean, they made her like move big boulders as a kid. Has DOA forced her to do slave labor? This is all being kind of silly, but let's hear the great Jenna attack DOA for being disgusting while staring at Aaron Smith Levin and not, what, blinking or laughing to death?
He says that if they come there to protest the church that they dedicated half of their lives to, that he is going to bullhorn them down. It is disgusting and despicable. It is so infuriating and such a waste of what so many people have dedicated so much of their lives to, have risked so much to speak out about Scientology. Now, I don't want to give him credit for being able to do that, but it is just disgusting. And not only that, but to bully people who still want to support that people, saying if you continue to support them, that you will shout them down, bullhorn them down. It's despicable. It's the actions of a bully. I literally have more respect for David Miscavige because he's not pretending to be a nice guy. He's not pretending to be on our side.
I mean, really? What are you doing, DOA, to speak against the ex-Scientologist? You must be crazy. Boy, what's happened to you? I don't understand this. I don't understand either. I don't even know what the plan of attack is because we got to be honest that Aaron's relationship with women's, it's being nice, kind of conflicted. And not just conflicted years ago. I love how some people are like, that happened years ago. No, it happened recently. Just recently, and again, very clear, don't like DOA, but DOA was blowing the whistle on Aaron's reluctance to expose a predator within his own community because he thought, well, maybe that's just going to look bad. I mean, I don't know. Is it bad? Guys, I don't know. It looks bad, but maybe it's not bad. I mean, I need to know more. I'm Aaron Smith Levin. I'm Daredevil. I need to know if the law really applies.
Basically. He said, don't speak for me. I'll release a letter through Liz Ferris. And I said, okay, I'll pass your compassion and love on to the victims. I'll pass that on for you. And he goes, don't speak for me. I'll send a letter to Liz Ferris, an open letter to Liz Ferris. I said, good, go for it. And then he said, hold on. He's like, this is not how I want it. I said, that's not how I wanted it to go either, but you are not who I thought you were at all.
For those a little confused, that's Shannon. And again, Shannon used to have a good positive opinion of Aaron. And Aaron was suspecting some kind of weird trap. Like, well, why do you want me to speak on this subject? Listen, he has, again, it's declining, but he has a huge platform. Shannon just wanted Aaron to alert possible victims to be on guard. And Aaron's like, I don't understand. I mean, well, I don't know. Is there a police report? So Shannon got the message. Aaron did not want to help. She was shocked. he didn't want to help, but then she kind of put it together. It's like, oh, I see. I see. I can see why you don't want to help. She was stunned, but then did more digging. It's like, oh, I see. You're worried your scandals are going to get brought up again. So that's what you're worried about. So yeah, Aaron portraying himself as the hero of the Jane Does and the women victims for years and years and years. Just not true. Now again, does that make Aaron the most horrible male monster? No, no. There are worse people. He's not Danny Masterson evil, but he's definitely not Captain America or Spider-Man or the delusional Batman image he put out that's saying, you can trust me. I will guard the fair city and the fair communities. Just give me the power. I will not abuse it. Well, that's not exactly true. And lately, it's just gotten into complete clown country because now, once again, Aaron is like, I believe women's. I believe women's all the time. Now, here's one woman who's speaking against DOA. I believe her a lot. And who is this woman? Oh, it's one of the Danny Masterson victims. And listen, I think we can all be on board. Danny's an evil guy. Him being in prison, that's fine. But just because monster in prison doesn't mean the survivors or victims are pure angels. Two things can be true. Danny's a monster, but his victims, not exactly the pure angels they portray themselves off. Is there any connection with Bixler and DOA? Like, what is the connection? Oh, there isn't any, except one, which is what makes this so absurd, so ridiculous. What is the most notorious thing DOA has been doing all these months? Well, like many of the grifters in LA, he decided to have a war. Why? I don't even know. But they targeted the La Poob as the center of evil and darkness. And the X-Men decided to come together and fight the evil Justice League style by having brawls, yelling, just a lot of commotion over there. And what did it lead to? I don't even know. What were we learning? Nothing really, because they were complete hypocrites. They have their own sex scandals. They're a bunch of vile, toxic people. But apparently them screaming at women, usually at the La Poob, was, I don't know, a great protest moment. But now Bixler disagrees. She thinks, I don't know, DOA. You've been a very toxic influence. I don't understand this. Why are you hurting the women? Well, he was hurting the women because you yourself were saying, destroy the La Poob, destroy it now, destroy it. So all those months that they were doing this, not just DOA, let's be very clear, DOA is just one person. A lot of these people, including the women, were just attacking and insulting people. You're okay with it. But now Aaron has some issues with DOA. So now we need to be critical of DOA. Now we need to remember he was a vile, toxic person. Now we can talk about all the mistakes of La Poob and how insanely stupid the whole affair was. Because DOA is back, guys. He's back at the La Poob trying to grift again. But now he no longer has the endorsement of Bixler. The Bixler endorsement has fallen through. Okay? Well, I don't think Bixler understands that if you don't trust Aaron Smith-Levin at this point, you probably don't trust her. This doesn't really mean very much for serious critics of DOA because, we talked about this for months and months before you withdrew your endorsement. Your withdrawing your endorsement does not matter. We were criticizing DOA then. We're going to criticize them now. Your input or help is not necessary. Aaron is now down to just 3 women he's going to be defending for all time. The Jane Does, and that is about it. Is he actually going to be helping other survivors of trauma? Well, maybe, maybe not. It depends what's in store for Aaron in terms of self-interest. So if maybe you have enough money or clout, yeah, he'll help you out. But if you don't, or aren't willing to help him out with his current DOA war, well, you're probably going to be silenced. And that's just how it is.